Welcome back to my YouTube channel. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Anytime you come across this update. Today's update is about President-elect Donald Trump. The news that is just reaching us today is that the federal judge dismissed the charge against President-elect Donald Trump for alleged trying to steal the 2020 election at the request of the Justice Department. So, guys, you people should know that a lot of charges was, placed against Trump doing after the 2020 election. You know that Trump was going to a lot of court cases before, even when he was doing his campaign in this election. Trump was going to a lot of, attending court cases. So, a lot of people, were trying to say is Trump will not be re-elected again because of a lot of charges. But guys, I will leave you guys to listen to the correspondent as he explained all the charges. And please stay tuned. I will always give a clarity on what he says. And please, if you're not subscribed, or please do well to subscribe and also drop your comment. Please listen to our correspondent. Then after that, I will do the clarity. So stay tuned.
Reversal from what had been two extraordinary cases. The first, federal charges against a former president. Of course, there were two state level criminal cases against Trump that are still theoretically hanging fire. But there were these two federal cases against Trump that were very serious. One was this January 6th case, basically saying he was trying to steal the 2020 election. He denied that. He said he was just trying to ensure that the election was conducted fairly and that there was no widespread fraud. The other case charged him with mishandling classified documents after he left the White House at the end of his first term and brought a bunch of White House papers down to Mar-a-Lago. The judge in that case, U.S. District Judge Aileen Cannon, had already dismissed those charges, but the special counsel, Jack Smith, had appealed that decision to the 11th U.S. Circuit Court of Appeals. And so he also, on Monday, asked the circuit to drop that appeal. So yesterday wound up not one, but two federal cases, unprecedented cases against a former president.
So, guys, you have heard from the correspondent. That means Trump did not have one case, he had so many cases. So, let's listen as our correspondent explains.
Yes, in New York, he was convicted of 34 counts of falsifying business records, basically to hide payments for money to keep a porn actress quiet before the 2016 election about an alleged sexual tryst between them. So he was convicted by a jury, and the sentencing has been pending. The sentencing was scheduled for November 26th, but Judge Juan Merchan has indefinitely postponed that sentencing as he decides what to do about this case because of Trump about to take office again at the White House. Legal experts say that his options include just dismissing the charges, throwing out the conviction entirely, which is what Trump's lawyers have requested. He could also postpone sentencing until after Trump's 4-year term in the White House, as Manhattan District Attorney Alvin Bragg has requested. In Georgia, Trump was charged with election racketeering, a number of charges that were very similar to the federal case of election interference. That case had been scheduled for a hearing at the Court of Appeals on December 5th in Georgia, and that court canceled the hearing, again, because of his looming return to the presidency. And so what we're waiting on in Georgia is Fulton County Superior Judge Scott McAfee, like Merchan, has to decide how he wants to handle the case. Can he simply postpone the prosecution against Trump for 4 years while Trump serves in the White House, or might he dismiss the charges entirely as Trump would prefer? And so we're waiting for decisions from both of those state-level judges in New York and Georgia.
All right, time will tell. Bart Jansen covers the Justice Department for USA Today. Thanks, Bart.
Thanks for having me.
So, guys, please, I want you to listen very carefully that there was a lot of allegation that was leveled against Trump. Please listen carefully as the correspondent point out, and please also drop your comment. I want to say that, guys, did you think that Trump winning this election was by his own, because he done a lot of campaign, he know how to strategize, or his winning was by divine? So please drop your comment and carefully listen to the correspondent as it's point out all the allegation that was leveled against Donald Trump. So listen.
There were four charges that Trump participated in a conspiracy to basically steal the 2020 election that was in fact won by President Joe Biden. He was also accused of obstructing Congress when they were counting electoral college votes on January 6, 2021, because a mob of his supporters stormed the Capitol building and temporarily halted that count. So the combination of all of the charges is why people refer to it as the January 6th case. But the allegation was a conspiracy to deny the rightful outcome of the election.
So our correspondent is still speaking. Let's listen to what happened this week.
Special counsel Jack Smith to wind down the charges in this case and in another federal case, because with the election of Trump winning the latest election on November 5th, long-standing Justice Department policy says that they do not prosecute sitting presidents. So they hadn't gotten to trial yet. He's going to take office on January 20th. And so Justice Department officials had said, well, they're going to have to wind down these charges and just abandon the cases. That officially happened on Monday. The special counsel, Jack Smith, filed a request to dismiss the charges against Trump. And U.S. District Judge Tanya Chutkan accepted that request. There was no opposition from Trump's lawyers. Chutkan found that because of that lack of opposition, that there was no argument that prosecutors had misbehaved in pressing the charges, but she agreed with the request, and so those federal charges have been dropped.
So guys, you've heard that Trump, the charges that was leveled against him has been dropped because he will be sworn in on the 20th January. So guys, please drop your comment and subscribe.